map, Echo Isles is really crucial here. If you go for the Ancient of War at the Merc camp at the beginning, it can be cancelled with a fast militia. That's exactly what's happening. Chaemiko sends over the peasant, and there's no way to prevent this. At least he's trying to block the peasant, force a kill there. Ancient of War taken out. We have seen a lot of Demon Hunter recently on this map. But it's a keeper this time. Chaemiko has liked MK Fast Expo quite a bit on Echo Isles recently, but here now it's Archmage against Keeper. Pretty straightforward. Losing the Ancient of War, of course, hurts, but you can remake it. How much of a delay is that? Maybe like 40 seconds? That's, of course, relevant.
It's only a keeper because he lost the Ancient of War, or didn't lose. He had to cancel, I guess. That's the correct term here. There is an epic mind game, by the way, behind those vetoes. Moon has been playing a lot of Warden on ladder. Like recently in one of his sessions, he 3-1'd Chaemiko with Warden. And Chaemiko has looked really strong against Warden like in some of his other games. And also, I think Lolite has looked really good when he used Warden, and he admitted that he practiced with Chaemiko. So Chaemiko has obviously been working on that matchup. And today, Chaemiko didn't veto Echo Isle, which is one of the best Warden maps in the entire map pool. So he's basically saying, okay, I know you're going to go for it. Moon was probably hoping he would spawn on the right-hand side where you have more space to make your Ancient of War near the Mercenary camp, but he got, unfortunately for him, the left-hand side. And look at how he adjusted. He still made the Ancient of War, and he was like, cancel it if you want. Then I'll just wait for a little bit, remake it, and I'll be totally fine in the game. So now we head into a game where it feels like it might be slightly better, personally, for Chaemiko, but we're in unusual territory because, like, all of the timings, the usual timings are already kind of thrown off.
Yeah, very cool to see at the beginning of the series, both players here going a bit off script, if you will. Chaemiko also with an interesting creep route. Took the tiny green camp first with only 2 militia, and then runs over to the natural. Keeper is coming in to harass, but he doesn't even have treants, so how much damage can he really do here? It feels like this Wisp needs to detonate and kill some water ellies. This keeper is in desperate need of some experience.
Will he get ensnared? Nope. Gets one of the water. A footman is getting caught on the left-hand side at the same time. Chaemiko moving in for the deny, maybe, if he needs to. He's trying to make sure there is an entangle, which Moon's delaying for some reason.
Oh, nice block. And the footy should be able to perhaps get away. Chaemiko, of course, world famous for his blocks. Look at that one. So much damage on the keeper already. Down to less than 200. Gonna have to run back home, heal up from the Moonwells. And, you know, in the early game especially, it's really important that you're efficient. That you move around the map with a purpose. Either to be aggressive and to get stuff done, or to be creeping and level up quickly. What has Moon done so far? He killed 1 footy, and he got detonate on 1 water elemental. Didn't even creep the Merc camp yet. This would be a good window right now for Chaemiko to go for the creep jack at the Merc camp if he expects it.
He's headed there. In typical Chaemiko fashion, I think he's maybe the human that buys the most stuff of teleportation. And the great thing about this is that it gives him so much potential later to staff all over the place, maybe get cancelled on lures. And also he takes that away from Moon. Because it's a very long cooldown for that to reload into the merchant here. So you can apply a ton of pressure now and really slow down Moon, who I think should be looking to play standard from there. You know, Panda second, expansion, Bears.
Interesting choice here now by Chaemiko to be aggressive. With only 3 footies, he doesn't have that much to offer. Doesn't quite get the deny here. Chaemiko normally really good at having footmen around for a possibility to do some damage, but rarely overcommits them. In multiple matchups we see this against Undead, against Orc with Headhunters, and now here as well. It would be really easy for these footies to just suicide into the Keeper, which would not be good. The Mercenaries right now for the Night Elf, very strong, before there's Defend especially. And look at the Keeper all of a sudden. He had a really slow start, but he caught up nicely.
Yeah, this is super well done by Moon to start the tree here on the left-hand side because he has his army nearby to protect it anyway. I'm so impressed at all the adaptation that we're seeing from like both players, considering in most normal games they both would have gotten ahead already. Now they just adapted to everything the opponent's throwing at them, and sometimes I watch these guys play and I'm like, they're just artists, you know. I feel like I'm watching Bob Ross paint a masterpiece when Moon plays.
A player's forces are
Yeah,
under attack.
it's really amazing how they can read the game and always make the right choice and never waste anything and always Not the perfect thing to go for. That's why they are here. And some of the strongest players in the world. Chaemiko needs to catch up with creeping. Staffs over to the Merc camp on his side. Wants to get level 3 here. I'm not sure if it's quite enough. He should get close though. He's also going to get a Shadow Priest, probably a Berserker. And it's going to be some valuable Dewspool against this Keeper who just got level 3. Goes Entangle instantly. Not a moment of hesitation.
Yeah, even if there is the Shadow Priest, it's only 2 Abolish usually that it's going to have. So you can really like wear this down. Also, it's like very fragile. He's looking to score some entangles here. Always kind of like you have to worry if the opponent builds up to like 10 footmen and then attacks you. That's also can be quite scary. He was gonna entangle. He might go for the Shadow Priest here. No, okay, he goes for a footman. Abolish
Second
is
hero,
here.
by the way, for Moon. The choice is not Panda, as is oftentimes seen, but rather Demon Hunter. Interestingly, means he's not gonna have the AoE, of course, of the Panda, or maybe a Tinker. And the interplay between Demon and Blood Mage is really interesting. The Demon Hunter can turn out to be very weak against the Blood Mage if there's just Siphon over and over, and then you have no mana on the Demon anymore, and the Blood Mage can use his Flame Strike and so on. But if you wait for the Siphon mana and entangle him right away, and then keep using Mana Burn, and use perhaps also Anti-Magic to break out of it, it can be a different story. Mass Repair. Chaemiko splitting his forces. AM walking to the left-hand side, trying to cancel the expansion. And only the Footies trying to defend at his own natural. Does he have to defend by now? He doesn't. Oh, but it's just finishing now.
Was that demon planning on creeping the Expo alone with the trees? Gonna go for a mana burn here on the Shadow Priest. And that's in part due to him having Staff of Teleportation that he's doing this, because he didn't staff to the left side of the map, but that's his escape. If the Keeper tries to, you know, target the Archmage too much. And also, he took away that staff from Moon. Moon surely would have bought it. Chaemiko didn't.
And this is oftentimes quite difficult for the human this stage of the game. Yes, your expansion is standing. Yes, the Night Elf isn't mining off of 2 bases yet, but the Night Elf has the tech advantage. He's got level 2 Entangle and Dryads. Very good for pickoffs. So human has lost all map control, but you still want to harass with it. You still want to slow the opponent down, because your army simply isn't quite big enough yet. If you go into a creep game, you're going to fall behind. And it's a Panda second by Chaemiko, picking it into the Demon Hunter. I was not expecting that.
Yeah, I've seen him do that before. He's just very good at mana management. And there's always a chance you can have had Blood Mage third later on if you do end up going castle.
Exactly, that's you're right. That's something that Sok used to play on Tidehunters especially. But normally the smaller the map is, the less incentive there is to go tier 3, because there's just simply not many creeps in the late game to go for then. Very interesting.
Yeah, Blood Mage only needs to be level 1. Like, it's when he comes out, Siphon level 1 is like good enough. One of the better spells out there. So Chaemiko actually, I think against Keeper usually would go double Priest, or like 1 Priest and Dispel, into double Sorceress, but he queued double Sorceress, then canceled, and now he's going double Priest. So he corrected a little bit. I don't think you need to be rushing the Sorceresses. And he's trying to power level his mana to 3, which Moon, for some reason, I kind of feel like he was supposed to be at 12 o'clock right now, getting that camp for himself.
Yeah, really good movement by Chaemiko, finding this creep camp. Moon was looking for the creep jack. The Demon Hunter and the Dryads were at the green. Didn't find anything there. AM getting caught, but he's got the TP. He should be fine. And he also went to the Murlocs. Didn't find him there either, but the Demon Hunter got good experience. Almost 3 now, but the Panda got the big one in the north. Yeah, which usually the player without map control is not supposed to get. It wasn't quite a big mana potion, was a big healing. Of course, also nice. And the AM actually managed to staff away, not even having to use the TP.
And now those transfers can be, those items can be transferred to the Panda. The evasion, the ring of protection, gonna be quite amazing on him. Demon almost 3 with double claws of attack here. Is that level 3? Yeah, that's level 3 on the Footman if you can get it. Breath of Fire doesn't work on Dryads.
Yeah, that was a weird breath. At least did a bit to the demon, I guess, before you get fully burned. And that's, of course, the problem with the Panda. Going up against the Demon Hunter, once you're getting mana burn, not so effective anymore. Really curious to see how he's going to make this work. You can play with Invis there. Adept training on the Sorix, cast the Panda Invis over and over, and then use Breath out of Invis and try to stay away from the Demon Hunter. But it's very hard to do perfectly.
You know, if there was no keeper, back in my days, back in the old days, it was Demon Naga all the time. So what you would do is get a Naga yourself, and once she's 3, you just invis her, buy Staff of Telly, go for some Wisp, Fort Lightning, you kill like 3, and then you staff out. Rinse and repeat. You could even like do that on one side and do like Mortar Invis with Archmage on the other side. All that kind of fun stuff, you know?
Isn't it sick how they're perfectly playing around the power spikes that they have and all the creep camps that are relevant? Like, Moon just stole 2 creeps away from the green camp, but then he sees, well, now you got an army, now I gotta fall back. And he only loses 1 archer for it, but he also took away the Murlocs in the meantime. But Chaemiko, he got the north. I feel like they're both playing so perfectly on the edge and know exactly how far to take it.
And
They haven't had the craziest fight so far, but I think that's really impressive.
They've had to adapt so many times already throughout this game. This Demon Hunter, what is this inventory?
It's pretty crazy, dude. He's gonna pick up an orb, of course, as well. He's gonna have double orb before too long. And
one of those rings is a +4, so he's got a lot of armor.
Yeah. I think you should keep those rings, man. He's really tanky. Give one of the claws to the keeper.
Bro, why you do this?
A player's forces are under attack.
Oh, he sold the +4. No. That's 1 armor. He's gonna have less. Moon got both scrolls here. This is a very big deal. Even though there is no panda, you kind of need to have a lot of scrolls here because the value for an army on 80 supply. And that's the strong timing here that Chaemiko is going to count on. He's going to send militia from the main base. He has 2 ivory towers. Moon needs a little bit more time here. He's only about to get his first fairy dragon.
There's a heavy commitment by Chaemiko. He's throwing almost everything into the bucket. Can we call this an all-in, or is there some transition here also available for Chaemiko if this doesn't work right now?
Well, they could just like trade and go low in supply, you know, back down to 50 for both of them, and then they would have to replenish, remake army, and then re-attack. But yeah, ideally, like the whole point of this timing is that you don't want Elf to get to 80 supply. Then it gets really scary, and that's a perfect timing. 78 supply to 70 right now, but some of those units are in production for Moon and missing from that fight.
First heal scroll used right away. You mentioned it before. The heal scrolls here extremely relevant. Chaemiko is kiting backwards. That means he's exposing the towers. A few Dryads split off, taking out the towers, and Chaemiko is going to TP out. Doesn't want to take this fight anymore, despite the supply lead that he had.
Ooh, the problem is that he TP'd in the main. And now he's almost kind of stuck. He was supposed to TP in the expo, replenishment scroll, double clarity, and then you go again. And if you look at the army of Moon, this is by design, by the way. Chaemiko he saved up his healing scroll on purpose because he wants to have it in the next fight. So he cannot tenderize the army. If you look at the Dryads, like a lot of them are missing hit points. The Bears are missing hit points, and a lot of their mana got drained by breakers. I like this kind of play myself because it's a great way to use your 80 supply army without overcommitting to the fight. You just use a 350 gold pound portal, which you can easily afford the next one because you're already on 80 and you're not really losing units. And sometimes you'll see this type of attack like 6 times in a row before the Night Elf is finally worn down, doesn't have any mana anymore on anything, has everything in a low, and then you attack, and then that's how you finish it.
Yeah, that's a really good point, actually. Although the TP nowadays is 325, Todd. You gotta get with the times.
That's true. This is, even more to my point, it's even cheaper.
Hells yeah.
Easy life.
Chaemiko would love to get another heal scroll here, but it's on cooldown for 50 seconds. He might be doing a slow Yumiko crawl. Start tower somewhere, move forward, kite back. But now we have Moon with a big army. I think he did it first, yeah. Big army for Moon. 80 supply, level 4 demon, strong heroes, double orb. And it's getting harder and harder for the human to fight into this. Maybe... Is going tier 3 here an option, or would that just take too long?
Yeah, actually, he might. He has the resources for it. I like that, actually, because I think Chaemiko realized that he needs heal scrolls here. You need to have 2, 3, sometimes he even gets 4. So what he did was power up the merchants, but Moon, once again, with the perfect adaptation, realized what was happening, and he engages into him, and now we're entering territory where Night Elf has a lot of supply. That's exactly what you didn't want here. If you're Chaemiko, those fairy dragons are wrecking those casters.
And the cool thing is, as Moon pushed back the human army because of Chaemiko, of course, had to kite away. The next heal scroll is available. Perfectly timing that attack with the heal scroll. Panda forced into the invul potion. That's a good position for Chaemiko right now, though. The bears all clumped up, nicely protected next to the shop. Opens up more avenues here with the force of nature. The treants are getting stolen, though, and the Panda now in a great position, far away from the mana burn. This could be a good fight for Chaemiko. He's got a slight supply lead, and health on his army is looking much better.
Yeah, the fairy dragons were not in position here at first, but now that they are, they're going to do so much damage to this entire caster line. It's almost like you'd almost want a TP on the right-hand side. Yeah, he's going to do that. And then use regen scroll immediately to try and replenish. Oh my god, everything is low. He TP'd in the center of the gold mine there. And Moon, not going to want to overextend. He saves so many more units. Chaemiko's already not doing that great on upgrades because he's 1-1 on breakers and +1 attack for mortars and rifles. And now we're going to enter the phase where Moon is going to completely take off on those upgrades. He's already 2-1, he's about to be 2-2. And once you get 3-3, like, you know that the human's never going to catch up here because he's kind of stuck on tier 2 himself, which is a bit surprising. I would have expected Castle and a Blood Mage third here to counter that demon.
Chaemiko, I guess, could still do it, but remember, time is running out soon. Well, sort of soon. We have like 5 minutes, maybe 6 minutes of main base income still left, and the natural doesn't hold out much longer for Chaemiko. That's, of course, relevant, as Moon's expansion is going to last a lot longer, having taken it quite a bit later. One more camp is still available. He's going to creep it now. AM not being level 4 yet, also painful, right? We still don't have that level 2 aura.
Yeah, he's close to it. He might actually staff here in a second to try and get that. Healing scroll is grabbed. He's going to run back. And 3 hippos from Moon to try and counter those gyros here. He wants to make sure he still has fairy dragons.
Oh, don't kill the turtle yet. You need this experience on the AM. This could have been big, actually. It's level 4 on the Panda, all right. But no level 2 brilliance.
And he goes for Drunken Haze level 2. Those bears are going to miss a lot. If you can land the Money Haze Breath there, obviously pretty amazing. Moon knows, look at his movement with the Keeper. He knows that Chaemiko's going to run up to defend with everything, so he's going to leave the Keeper at the Expo. He saw that there was only one Arcane Tower anyway. He's like, go ahead, you have to defend with everything, otherwise I'll kill all your buildings instantly. So he's like, go up, and I'm going to send the Trance and the Keeper into the Expo, put some poison damage on everything, and start the Peasant Slaughtering Fest.
Oh, that makes so much sense. Beautiful movement. If Chaemiko sends back like 3 breakers, though, I think he should be fine.
Oh, the gyros?
Oh,
but they didn't come from behind. They came from straight ahead, and it died.
2-2 on them, 2-2 also on the hippos. Well, not yet 2-2, but soon 2-2. Seems like Chaemiko was a bit late with his upgrades. He's been sitting on high resources for a long time. Oh, there's some good experience, by the way. Arcane Tower needs to attack the farms. This could be AM4 or close to it.
Oh no, he denied 2.
He's denying the experience. Great game so far by Chaemiko, but he's not paying quite enough attention to his AM's experience bar.
Yeah, I think he was busy worrying about his main base because there was a gigantic elf army knocking at his doorstep.
Oh, he's making a lot more farms, Todd. We're getting to really high supply across the map. What do we have for Moon? More upgrades. That makes sense. Sitting at 80. I'm looking for the Chimroos. Do we have them? Maybe. No. Chims are a big risk. If they get overpowered by gyros, you're going to have a bad time. AM staffs back to the natural. That means he's not part of the army here in the north. Moon trying to get every advantage that he can. Doesn't want to commit in here to a fight yet.
Yeah, especially when you don't have a panda.
This treant would be level 4. Come on. All right.
If you don't have a panda, it's scary to go for chimps against gyros. Moon's killing one of his own archers there. But yeah, now that there is castle, you can expect there could be some knights entering the fields. So that's when it's more interesting. Moon's got 3-3 about to finish. Goodness, these upgrades are going to be absolutely insane. Chaemiko got a little more himself. He's 1-2 on breakers. And I think he went for the +2 attack for flying machines, mortars, and rifles as well.
Keeper got the heal scroll there. That's always a huge deal, especially in these big army fights. The Keeper was just like 2 steps ahead of the Archmage, and he couldn't entangle him. I feel like it's a pretty good encapsulation of how close this game has been so far. You know, previous days were rather short. The series were over rather quick. I got a feeling this series is going to be nice and long, ladies and gentlemen.
Demon's almost 5, by the way, which is crazy in itself, because it's Echo Island. You know, Moon's about to have 5-5 here. But he's definitely out-leveled Chaemiko. His army just feels like it's better right now, but Chaemiko, his win condition here is to just build the perfect army. Get Frag Shard, you know, it's like, it's that splash upgrade that Dryads hate. Get a Blood Mage 3rd, get more upgrades, and just get the perfect 100 supply to counter his opponents.
It's going to be a delicate balance of the air units. You want to have just the right amount of hippos to take, to the flying machines, I mean, to overpower the hippogriffs and the ferries, but you don't want to make too many and waste too much gold on them. 7 flying machines seems not quite high enough to me.
Imagine them with Inner Fire. They're supposed to get that eventually.
They're going to have 11 armor points, bro. They're going to slap some plating on those wings. On those propellers. Kind of amazing they can
slap those
in the air.
plating chicks.
That's right.
Moon's collecting scrolls. He's got up to 3 right now. Wait. Where's the Breaker and Panda going? He's trying to flank. He saw that the Keeper was not with the army. Chaemiko's trying to go for a fight here before he actually breaks upkeep. But then the rest, the squishy part of his army gets caught. I don't know if that was a mistake.
I think it was intentional, trying to come in there with a sandwich, but the Breaker's not quite well enough position to protect the rest of the army. Didn't lose too much. Lost a TP, lost one hippo, one flying machine. AM level 4, finally! That is such a feels good level. Moon now gonna do damage against the Expo. Can he perhaps snipe this Town Hall even?
He might have to get out in a second here. Berserker taking a lot of damage. Does he get staffed out? Looks like not. Important bit of experience here. Panda gets closer. Level 4.5. And Moon might have to TP in a second because he's kind of caught in a
terrible position for Moon. He had to get out, but he was trying to buy time. He's got 3,000 gold.
Yeah, they
main
both
base
banked,
expired.
They banked a ton. Chaemiko broke earlier. I think Chaemiko just banked enough to make sure he could go to 100 supply. And Moon, I hope he realizes early enough what's happening here with this, because it's going to be a strong timing headed his way very soon. He can use the Wisp that are not mining anymore for gold on the main base to try and mass detonate the army. He's looking for the marketplace. Most people wouldn't even think of this, but I think he was looking to see if there was something useful he could get. I don't think he saw much, though.
Do we have Inner Fire? Yes, we do. Mortar teams with Roar Inner Fire plus 25. That's not bad. Keeper not part of the fight right now. Hippo's trying to fly in, but they're getting slowed. These hippogriffs. Flying machines kiting against them. Of course, Chaemiko has to kite here excellently. So far, he's doing a good job. But the Panda's out of mana for now. Has double mana potion. Keeper comes in from the back and tackle against the mortar teams. Good positioning there and needs to use the dispels. Where are the dispels? It seems like the fairy dragons are all of the fight though. And the bears extremely hurt. Chaemiko, he might be taking this fight. 89 supply. Moon down to 63. He was too greedy, Todd. He was banking too long. Yeah. 2.5 thousand gold, but he's getting overrun in this fight. Chaemiko with a killer instinct. We talked about it before. Finds the window. When Moon, with all of his experience, the greatest of all time, can be caught in a mistake. As he clearly loses that fight, will lose more bears and will most likely lose his expansion. Most shortly lose his expansion.
And that was the standard timing as well. Like, you're supposed to attack there. You're supposed to go to 100, get some scroll, whatever you can at the merchant, and go for the attack. So I'm really surprised that Moon banked this much. Like, almost feels like he was saving up for the next game. You know, I know you're supposed to build your portfolio on Coinbase, but that was a little too much, a little too greedy from him. And I mean, leave it to him to come back in this kind of game, to be honest. Like, he'd be the one to be able to, but right now it's looking terrible. 50 supply against 86. And when you have mortars, the siege on that expansion is gonna usually go pretty fast.
This game really was a masterclass. Also a masterclass of patience. Both players trying to retain as many resources as they could. There was pressure here on Chaemiko to do something. Look at the natural. Only 1.3k left, so he didn't have much time left. But in the end, the lethal mistake was to be just a little bit too patient, a little bit too greedy, and Moon was overrun. Didn't see that attack coming, apparently. And Chaemiko just kind of steamrolled over that. With how hard that game was this whole time so far, that fight was surprisingly easy.
Yeah, he caught like a bunch of the squishy part of the army as well. Like the fairy dragons, they died almost instantly. And I love how that tree is just like, don't mind me, just scooting by, coming through.
And again, Chaemiko always finding these perfect positions. Look at that. The Breaker, the Knight, the Panda in the front line perfectly blocking. The Bears have a tough time connecting. Of course, they're all slowed and they're taking so much damage. The Mortar teams are shelling away. And we have Water Elemental still in the back. Never transitioning into Blizzard, by the way. Once you have these additional Water Elementals, of course, also good against the Hippos and the Fairies. We now have no more Gyros left, but it doesn't matter anymore. The Tree of Eternity is gone. And this game will go to Chaemiko. He doesn't want to overcommit though. He doesn't want to feed too much away. Still respecting especially the Night Elf ultimates. Are we close to those? Sort of.
Yeah.
But
I
probably
mean,
not
this is
close
almost
enough.
like a get out of my game TP, to be honest. Because he killed the tree, he sees like all the bears are in the red. I guess he didn't have a Breath of Fire. And now to add insult to injury, he's about to secure 1, if not 2 healing scrolls.
After all this, Chaemiko somehow still in high upkeep. He hardly lost anything. Really amazing. If you want to learn how to perfect especially your late game control, watch Chaemiko. Take him to be your sensei. He does it better than anyone. The way he's always finding the right positions, knows exactly when to kite, when to attack the hippogriffs. It's really easy to just go in, you know, and activate slow. Suddenly, fairy dragons, everything gets splattered to pieces. But Chaemiko does it so well. And you talked about it earlier. You need to build the perfect army, and it does appear they made the perfect army.
Yeah, his repositioning in the fight is what really, I think, sets him apart from most players. The Breaker gets caught in center of the map. I think at this point, Moon's hoping that he gets Demon level 6 and that he gets a miracle fight win, but I don't know about base racing without a Townfall here. Moon's about to be eliminated. All of his buildings are up there, and there is Mortars with Inner Fire, 4 of them sieging his base. He's gonna remake a tree, I think. He's sending wisps at the bottom. He's getting eliminated incredibly fast, though.
I like this. This was epic enough of a game, I would say, that this warrants a base race in the end. It's gonna be about building elimination, gentlemen. Obviously, Moon can't hope to win a fight anymore, so he has to go for the buildings. We have to take a look at the workers. Wisps and peasants will be sent out in different directions.
There.
Oh! Got an invuln though.
There's a Dispel.
Not really any trouble there. One priest shall fall, but there are more priests. Not too many, I guess. Chaemiko has lost a couple of units, many of them here being peasants. Looking to get an ultimate here, maybe. Both Night Elf heroes now are close. Gotta say, though, even with an ultimate, I don't think he can actually take a fight. Last building, Todd, in the south. The Moonwell, at the last corner of Echo Isles.
And he's
it
revealed.
will be revealed in 2 minutes. Exactly.
I think he already is. It said revealing.
Yeah.
That's a big deal. Chaemiko knows. She could even, like... I mean, it would be risky to staff the Archmage down there to try and dive this. But yeah, he's gonna go there with this gigantic army. Army supply 54 for Moon, 60 for Chaemiko. So he actually... Moon finally able to spend a lot of his gold here. But he has only 1 Fairy Dragon. That Fairy Dragon is going to do a lot here. He's going to have to do a lot for him to have a chance. He's close to level 6s, to be honest. Can Moon do this?
Oh, the bears all stacked up! Oh my god, did you see that combo? Drunken Haze, Breath of Fire, so much damage. Mana burn right after, but the first one did connect and did matter. The Knight, look at how much damage it's soaking up. The Knight with all its armor. That was level 6 for the Keeper. Alright. We knew it did take some ultimates. He needs the other one as well. The Demon needs to get level 6. But he's not finding any kills right now.
Demon might need to get staffed here in a second. Panda, with enough mana for another Breath of Fire, uses that just before the mana burn. He still has double mana potion on him. Those Dryads melting at the back, thanks to Mortars.
Drunken Haze, Breath of Fire with the mana pot once again. Too much damage, and we have level 6 for Chaemiko as well. He too could fire up that ultimate if he had the mana. GG is called. After a long slog, 30 minutes, Chaemiko comes out on top in what was, I think, by far the highest level game so far we've had in DreamHack Asia.
Oh man, what a gem of a game. When Moon plays human on Echo Isles, I don't want to start a map discussion about Echo Isles again, Remo, don't worry. But whenever Moon plays on Echo Isles, there's something special in the air. He created draws at GCS against Chaemiko. He like his game against TH at WCG in Xi'an was the most epic game of probably the tournament. And yeah, it's just, there was masterclass here. I think Todd pointed it out yesterday already, foreshadowing what would happen here. The kiting by Chaemiko is incredible. Before the fatal fight for Moon at the bottom, I was not sure if he could get dominance in the air, but the way he moved the gyros and the hippos were overwhelmed was just unbelievable. Unbelievable. And cool to see that how important timings are. Moon was banking for so long, and Chaemiko found that window and punished him hard for the greed. Next two maps are Tide Hunters and Autumn Leaves. After the 30-minute banger, we give these guys a little time to breathe and, in Moon's case, rethink his actions. We're gonna be right back with map 2.
God damn.
Wait. Back at DreamHack, back to the game 1 of the day. Chaemiko takes map 1 over Moon. It's now time for Moon to strike back. Otherwise, Chaemiko makes it to the round of 8 and gets some 90 extra points for the quarterfinals. Moon is ready, and he needs to strike back now. The question is how?
How about spending your gold? I looked at the vote again. Chaemiko broke into high upkeep when he had 2.2 thousand, which You have to make 20 supply. By the time you spend that 2,200, you're gonna have mined a little more, and then you're gonna have enough to go straight to 100. So that's probably the right time. And maybe even could have done it a little bit before. Moon took a terrible fight across the map, and at the same time he had 3,200. That's way too greedy over there. I think that fight that he was taking was also a problem because he lost units, didn't really kill anything, and we just saw him shake his head a little bit. I think he understands that he was supposed to win that last game.
Yeah, doesn't look too happy if you ask me. Chaemiko looks focused, looks ready, a little bit of stretching prior to the game. We are about to move into map number 2. This should be Moon's pick. No, it's Chaemiko's pick actually. Echo Isles was Moon's pick if I'm informed correctly. But okay, let's see if we can make this a full series. Tidehunters it is.
Hopefully we will get a third map here because this was a lot of fun already. A bit of a shame that this basically perfect game by both, map number 1, ended with Moon being just a bit too greedy. And maybe a bit too greedy isn't the right word. He did, after all, have more than 3,000 gold. That's a rather copious amount of money. With that kind of capital, he could go big on Coinbase.
All right, let's see. Is it a keeper or warden here? Should be a keeper, but Moon's been mixing a good amount of warden. It is a keeper. And yeah, it's just overkill. But the thing is, it was a misread, right? Because he doesn't see the whole map, obviously. And I think around the time he was attacking, he saw the castle tech, and then he just did the math in his head, and he was like, okay, he'll not attack me in the next few minutes. It's gonna take a while for him to get everything online. So he just kind of miscalculated that. And he thought he could get away with a little bit more grid. Ideally, the perfect time to break into high upkeep is shortly after the opponents. But now he didn't realize that it was happening. He had no real way to scout it. And he just got off guard by the attack as well. Like, everything went wrong. He took a bad fight. Then he got engaged into on the left-hand side. His keeper wasn't there. The air died almost instantaneously because it was out of position. And again, he's playing without a panda and trying to counter gyros. That's very hard.
Speaking of panda, I love that pick by Chaemiko. I feel like that's of course different strategies you can go for. Also, some humans on some maps love to go for the 60 supply mass rifle heavy push at the Night of Expo, which can oftentimes lead to victory. But the strategy that I like seeing the most is Panda second, tier 3 play, inner fire, all that, 80 supply, maybe even 100, and Blood Mage third, as we mentioned earlier. But he didn't go for that on map 1. Why do you think that was? Why didn't he add a Blood Mage?
I think because he knew he could just buy some mana potions, and that would kind of have like the same effect, right? Because you don't quite get the combo, but you can wait for the panda to have replenished a little bit of mana if he's completely empty, and then use the mana potion, and then you get your combo anyway. So that would have been 5 supply that is maybe spent better elsewhere, because he could just make like, knights, breakers, mortars, flying machines, and all that, and those were like fully upgraded units.
Yeah, that does make sense. And of course, at that point in the game, there was nothing left to creep on Echo anymore, being a very small map. On Tidehunters, it could be different. Lots more creeps here. Could be possibly a late game hero scenario. As, by the way, we see the fast expansion by Chaemiko. This seems to be the normal opening. Orange into Expo, set that up quick. And Moon also creeping his own natural fast. And, dude, the ring era continues. 3 out of 4 rings between the two.
Lollites, you're being told and shown who's the true Lords of the Ring here, and it ain't you.
And he bought another clause. AM picks that up gladly. Only 125 gold.
Great value, actually.
Yeah.
It's all about that value,
Oh!
2020.
And he surrounds the keeper! Classic Chaemiko play, sets up the trap, footies from the side, Archmage chasing behind. And that is not only the TP gone, that is not a single peasant dying. And this is as good as an early game as you can hope for.
Players' forces are under attack.
One probably can't believe it here. It didn't even really look like it was that threatening, and then boom, it was instantly locked. Perfectly. Like for a long time we were talking about how with Infi and TH retiring, like there is no best human player really showing the way and stuff. I feel like we've reached a point now where Chaemiko is just that guy. It's like it's confirmed. Like
I think
day in, day out, he's performing in tournaments, he's innovating, he's doing so many things really well.
I think it's not even a question. I don't think it's debatable at this point.
A
Until
player's
Sok
forces
or
are
someone
under
else
attack.
steps up massively again, Chaemiko is number one by far. Moon is continuing to creep. He needs to get that level 3. There we go. It's always scary. Moon selling the TP, going for the boots. That's a play that he pioneered. We've been seeing that from a lot of Night Elves. Would have loved to get the Telestaff as well, but the AM got it first. And he also got level 3, and he's got the double claws. And he's going for the Tree of Life. And there's no way Moon can hold this.
This is textbook Chaemiko here. Gets the staff every single time. To be honest, Staff of Teleportation cooldown is just... It's very underrated. Like, it's so low. It's so short to how good it is. Like, throughout a game, you might end up getting to use it so many times.
Absolutely.
A player's
This cost a
forces
couple
are
of
under
footmen, but
attack.
this also bought himself a lot of time. That expo delay is at least a minute. Probably more like 1.5, maybe 2 minutes. And every minute of mining is 600 gold, so that gets expensive real quick. Expansion, though, being remade in the north. That's a nice play. There's a lot of attention right now in the left right here. It takes a lot of game sense and intuition to realize that the tree is up in the top right. If he does, Chaemiko can cancel that one as well, perhaps.
Ooh, big entangle on the water. Let's see
claws,
if you can
Todd.
get it. Yeah, the
at
claws
those
plus
claws.
the agility here.
That's your
It's
favorite
gonna-
item.
I think that's where some players will leave. Spiral will be long gone from that game, I tell you that.
A player's forces are under attack.
Well, it's not like you don't have a point there. Alright. Chaemiko confirms the expansion. Doesn't have mana though. Doesn't have any footies here. This should be a hold. Keeper also. Lots of mana still on him. He got a good experience. And he's going Demon Hunter second again. One lore was cancelled. The expansion certainly should come up, but this was huge damage to Moon for show.
With staffing in, maybe
Oh,
target
with
the
Pep-
Archmage would be good, but I think he's going to try to get rid of the units.
no way.
instead. And
Oh,
tangle
no.
on the water.
That should be a save. If this expo falls, it smells like GG
Oh, there's
already.
2 claws and agility. I don't even know if it's a save. He has Wisp to repair, but there's still a long way. Okay, no. Come on, don't tell me this is...
All
gonna
right.
push him back.
He saves it. Ooh, that was crucial to keep that one. Keeper chasing for more kills. Love those boots. Really, really good to find these kills early. And in the late game, good for the Demon Hunter.
A player's forces are under attack.
Where the sapper at, Remo? That's why you always open lab.
I'm an honorable player, Todd, so I don't buy sappers. You shouldn't ask me.
You play undead. How honorable can you be?
Most honorable, imaginable. I play Cryptlord. That's a hero for gentlemen.
It's a special place in hell for you, man.
I mean... Alright, I'm not gonna go there. Anyways, moving on. Demon
You're
Hunter.
not gonna go there, just like you're not gonna go to church on Sunday. Yet we're still gonna make the same crazy intro as every show.
Excuse me. How can you blaspheme like this, Todd? Can't believe what I'm
the
hearing right now.
blasphemer.
What's the second hero this time? It is Blood Mage, not Panda.
Player's forces are
He saw the
under
demon
attack.
early. He could adjust.
I like it better, to be honest. I think it's supposed to be a blood mage here a lot of the time. This time, Chaemiko grabs the scroll early. Very nicely done here with the Archmage. Just runs into the merchants and buys the first one. So that's Moon that's going to be missing a scroll for a while.
Lumber for Chaemiko also seems pretty low. He's only got 3 lumber peasants at the expo. And only 5 in the main. So he stopped lumber production really early. Remember, he didn't lose a single peasant this whole game, which is still pretty crazy.
Yeah, I don't think that has happened to me ever in the last 3 years. Ending a
You
game
see?
without lost peasants. I don't think so, Remo.
You see, you just gotta play better. Like Chaemiko.
Yeah. Clean surround on those keepers headed my way coming up.
Gotta do a boot camp with Juan. He can teach you a thing or two about surrounds.
Yeah, but he
Oh,
has an Oliora.
Keeper looking to get some more kills. Chaemiko isn't quite ready yet. He's spending all of his gold. He wants to get the big army right now. Not necessarily to push, but just to be able to go out on the map and creep something. He's lagging behind in levels.
This is a good time for Moon potentially to fight here because we just broke upkeep here as Chaemiko. So it doesn't have the critical mass where you can attack into this anymore. So Moon's just looking to come in, snipe some of the squishier units, maybe some of the casters. The Sorceress dives to creep because of the chaos that Moon has created. And there's no dispel yet. This Rifleman taking so much damage here nearby. Chaemiko's struggling to hold against this. But Moon's tier 2. What the hell?
Demon is dropping low, has that heal scroll. Nice value. Heal scroll also on the other side, so both using the big healing item, the big heal scroll here before the huge fight in the late game. Staff away, Demon should be fine. There might be a new heal scroll available. No, never mind. 1 minute away. And that's going to be crucial to try to get for both players. There's a lot of militia also needed, so now the lumber department really in the dumps for Chaemiko. He needs to make some more peasants, I would say.
Remo, Moon is tier 2. Did you hear me?
Wait, what? What happened?
He's playing Mass Dryads. He lost faith in bears.
So that means he's gonna rely entirely on hit and run. Because
I think he knows that it's double Sanctum, 1 Barracks, 1 Workshop, in which case against bears you're not supposed to make a lot of rifles. And rifles is the main thing that counters him. So I think he's just gonna go in and tangle the rifles, target manually the casters, and yeah, maybe he thought he didn't have the economy because his expo was just so delayed, but he's still not going tier 3, even though he should have enough gold now to go into that.
the cool thing, of course, is Blood Mage with Flame Strike does absolutely nothing against Dryads.
Yeah, and he found True Shot, to be honest. All of those Dryads, they have +2 attack thanks to this.
Moon with the risky play here. If this gets sniffed out somehow, if Chaemiko scouts this and he slaps down a second barracks, Moon will be in trouble. But nobody does this. Who the hell plays mass Dryads on 2 base? Nobody. And there's a window here for Moon to still be effective.
Jack, man. Look at this.
He's got the Ultra Vision advantage, right? We got nighttime. It's going to be a long nighttime as well. Moon is going to be able to... We're going to look for pickoffs here and there.
It'll be a long night. Yeah, it recalls me to Conor McGregor in a press conference. It's gonna be a long night in here with me for 5 rounds.
And then he falls in the second round.
I
Tier
think he might have
3?
lost that fight, actually. But yeah, they're
Tier
both
3
going tier
coming
3 at the same time. But he's tipping in. Chaemiko is tipping inside to catch those Dryads. He's trying to get on top of them.
It's 2 TPs in short succession, and Moon hardly lost anything. Moon made a lot out of this mid game with the weird mass Dryad style. The problem is both now going tier 3 and both willing to, after all, go into the late game. And when you're moving into the late game with tons of Dryads still left, that's not where you want to see yourself.
Yeah, I think Chaemiko realized that there was just an absurd amount of Dryads, and he's like, alright, like, this is going to be the best frag shot of my life if I go for it. So he started Castle Tech.
Are under attack.
And Moon, I'm surprised he's not using Zeppelin, by the way, with this. Just a Wisp at the lab, buying a Zeppelin, he will be able to drop in and out a lot. But I guess there is a Workshop, which counters Zeppelin really well with the Gyro. He's getting on top of the army again. He's catching Chaemiko off guard, who was creeping the lab. Oh my god, Moon. Why is this Mass Dryad working? He's killing a lot.
I think Chaemiko is not producing correctly, though. I think he should be making way more rifles. Look at this barracks. It's been inactive for such a long time. Big heal scroll. We have 1 rifle left only. Seeing so many Dryads, it is very, very confusing. Why is Chaemiko not making more rifles?
Oh my god, Moon is so sick to make this work. He's literally the only player that could ever make this garbage Mass Dryad work. Except Sase back in the day, who all killed a team with Dryads in 4 different matchups.
And you're right about the frag
If you want to
shards.
laugh at my jokes, you have to unmute yourself for the stream.
Moon is making an expansion. Tree of Life in the bottom left. Are you kidding me? Invis footy. Alright, if he scouts this, Chaemiko is absolutely insane. But yeah, he's not going to. Who the hell does this?
It's like Moon Meadows is gone. Welcome to Tide Moons. Or Moon Hunters.
doesn't quite have the same ring.
Yeah,
Gotta be honest.
that sounds kind of garbage.
Why is he not making rifles though? I am truly confused. He's got only a single rifleman. Of course he can't fight the Dryads right now. If he had rifles, this... I feel like Chaemiko is putting himself in too much of a box right now. He's
I
waiting
think he
for
knows
tier
that
3.
if he starts making a lot of rifles now, then he's gonna face bears. And then that's like the worst time. He
But
probably
he's got
feels
lots
like
of-
he should have had them earlier, but now it's only gonna, I mean, to be honest, make me like 4 Molotovs with frag shots, you're gonna see what happened to those Dryads. They're not gonna be so proud to run around anymore.
That's true. Sproink. But he's losing so much, so many resources in the meantime. And I don't mean gold, I mean experience. Moon is creeping so much away from him. And yeah, perhaps you don't want to have a pure rifle army against bears, but having a couple of rifles is not bad. We do have a decent breaker front line here. 6 breakers, no armor upgrades though. Do you remember this early game, dude? The keeper got surrounded right away, got no peasant kills.
A player's
And
forces
Moon, the
are
way he
under
fought
attack.
his way back here, absolutely nuts.
Yeah, he's slow expodes. I tell you what, that wouldn't have worked against me because I always overmake rifles. So it's terrible in my games because I face bears, but against this would have been amazing. And yeah, Chaemiko, he did the right thing. Like, you're supposed to just make a few rifles because they're supposed to be just a few Dryads. The opponent goes into bears, and what counters bears? Breakers and casters. But Dryads, especially with True Shot, they're pretty damn good against a lot of casters, and breakers don't do a lot to them. And yeah, there just really wasn't enough rifles.
Speaking of rifles, we are kind of circling around the drain here with this point, but yeah, he still only has 1. And later on in the late game, normally they're also a good help against the Fairy Dragons, which we should expect at some point. We see the Ancient of Wind coming. Has he seen the Tree of Life?
No.
Vision range? It's close. Dude, how is this Tree of Life not
Town
spotted?
players'
That's
forces
crazy.
are under attack.
Moon is almost 5-5 against 3-3 right now. That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
He's getting a ton of upgrades. He's got 1-2. Going to bears, going to fairy dragons. There is a chance he could add a 3rd hero as well. I mean, there's still some camps and there could be value in that, but right now he's probably not seeing it. Like, there is also great value in getting 6-6 with Tranquility and Metamorphosis. Those
Fact
Dryads,
are
by the
starting
way.
to kick in. How
They
many,
did a sick
how many
job.
mortars we got? Wait a minute. 3 over here. 4 mortars at
Players'
least, maybe
forces
5.
are under attack.
I can't believe this expansion. Who the hell places an expo down there, Todd? The goat. That's who.
Moon, yeah. You're asking me, he took all of them on Twisted Meadows against me, man.
I feel like that game is still somewhat fresh in your memory. You bring it up a whole bunch.
Of course. How could I forget, you know?
Was it one of the best days of your life?
My therapist hears about it every week.
Forces are under attack.
Alright, big army. Chaemiko once again very rich. 1,000 gold. We got Inner Fire. This is the big human death ball army. And this is where Dryads have really fallen off. First Flame Strike doesn't connect too well. In fact, the Knight is not appreciating the crispiness. But good position again by Chaemiko. Look at the positioning. Breakers in front, perfectly protecting the back. And he's... Like, there's a lot of narrow chokes on Tidehunters already. But this is the narrowest. Between the tavern and trees, I should say. Absolutely amazing. More teams shelling away at the Dryads in the back. Demon Hunter almost level 5. 1 more kill. He's gonna get it. Heal scroll used. Bears all trying to drop low. Mountain Giant comes in from the back. That's level 5 Demon. We're gonna TP out though.
But the Dryads on the left are not going to TP though. Oh no, the Molotovs. Okay, they get out. That was the most terrible position I've seen in a while here. Moon kind of struggling with the positioning in some of these fights. And also, he has double expo running. You would think he'd just run around and try and threaten the town hall or bases, which, by the way, that expansion of Chaemiko, look at the farm line in front of the town hall. He already thought of this before Moon even did.
The Great Wall of Tidehunters does not want to have that one sniped. This Tree of Life, on the other hand, is getting sniped quick. Didn't look like he had Nature's Blessing, but he actually did. That's what more teams and Flame Strike do to you. But Moon is still fairly rich, and he still has that expansion. And still hasn't been spotted. That is so sick. And the Natural and Main are somewhat soon running out for Chaemiko.
the secret coin holding extra value down there. Can that save him?
Blood
Can
Knight
he
trying to
break
get
even?
the
Can he tie the
scroll.
series?
Oh, that was close.
Actually, this is dangerous because when you buy something like this, if the opponent's looking at the merchant, he'll realize like that an item just disappeared and was bought.
Yeah.
That's when he uses dust, and it was pretty bad for you.
Chaemiko certainly seems to have a late word. High upkeep again, gentlemen. This human army, if it's so fully fleshed out with upgrades and a perfect army constellation, so powerful. But the anti-air against fairies is lacking.
During the last big fight in center, Moon actually broke upkeep into high upkeep, but then he lost so many units that he was brought back down to low upkeep now. And Chaemiko's the one now on 90 supply. 73 army with 1-2 upgrades on the breakers, plus 2 attack on the mortars.
And again, he's trying to find the point of weakness. He's trying to snipe some economy, maybe snipe some buildings. Chaemiko probably gonna have to TP. Yep, TP over to the expo. It's pretty expensive when you're in high upkeep. You're gonna feel those resources being lost. Surrounds a bear with a TP. Not having a second staff here on the demon does seem like a mistake.
Yeah, considering how the whole game has gone, can't really fault him too much. Bears are getting caught.
Is under siege.
There's one single staff charge here on the keeper. And I think, yeah, this is the part where you were mentioning it. Like, it's so expensive to defend and TP back. Chaemiko is a gigantic army. He should be fighting here. Because worst case scenario is like, you know, he trades. He goes down to 80 supply and then he's still mining more from the expo, which Moon is trying to shut down. Moon's forcing a base race.
Look at that more team hit squad, though. Oh, the Dryads! Boink! Oh my god, the damage. That was like 1,500 damage in one hit. Not bad. And they can go for the Tree of Eternity right after. Moon is trying to trade as well as he can.
Taking all the bases. He has the one in the bottom left as well.
Oh, yeah.
It's just a full-on base race. He's gonna try and eliminate Chaemiko, who hasn't sent out any peasants. So there's no peasants in the expo. It's just the few ones that he has in the main. I see 7 of them.
A player's forces are under attack.
Moon probably wishes he had a panda here, which would be so much better for this with Breath of Fire. But yeah, on the other side you have +2 attack mortar. I love this shredder. He's like trying to waltz out of there. Chaemiko is like, no.
I was a civilian. I wasn't even conscripted in the army, guys.
And also, Moon's low on bears, right?
permitted. Yeah. He had a mountain giant somewhere, but it might have gotten caught.
Yeah, he
So his
did.
building damage really isn't that high. Chaemiko has 7 peasants left. That means he has 80 supply pure army. Tier 3 upgraded. Inner fire and everything. So obviously, Moon cannot take a fight. He has to win this through base race.
Yeah. And Chaemiko has TP. If you don't have a town portal here, you can dive those peasants in the main. But if he did that now, Chaemiko would just TP. Moon, of course, can't TP out himself. He's catching a knight here. Big snipe. And Demon getting closer to level 6 here, still killing some peasants. I wonder if Chaemiko's gonna TP at all. He finds a tree in the bottom left with a knight and water elemental, so he's not even gonna have to go there in person for this. Just sent his errand boy, the knight.
Chaemiko's back up to 80 supply. That's kind of good for him. He's only got 3 peasants though. Should probably kill 1 Sork, make 2 more peasants.
Yeah, I'm sure he's gonna be delighted about mining for full value on that 380 gold in the main gold mine, Remo. A penny saved is a penny earned, Remo. Have you ever heard that?
Listen, bro, it's better than 4 gold per sack. Big strike. Oh, crispy wisp barbecue. But this Tree of Life got like, how much? 4,000 gold out of that? 4,000 gold! Sneaky gold mine. Sick play, but not sick enough, it would seem.
Yeah. I mean, when you have mortals in this kind of base race, it's just the dream scenario. It's like night and day, right? If you was playing a tier 2 composition with a lot of rifles, casters, and breakers and wouldn't have mortars, then suddenly
A player's forces
Moon would have been totally fine. What really surprised me, like obviously the mistake in game 1 to be overly greedy by Moon was unusual, but what really surprised me is the bad fights that he took. There was one on Echo Isle near the expo, and there was one here in the center, which it just never was supposed to take the way he did it.
Very surprised that Chaemiko spent all of his gold just a moment ago. Bought another heal scroll and an invuln. That's not really items that he needs, because there's no fight happening. And now he is almost bankrupt.
A player's forces are under attack.
But he's going for the buildings. How many we got left? Moon has way fewer for sure. He's got 2 buildings in the main. No others at the moment. He needs to make a new building with a wisp. And do so fast. And do so fast. I'm probably missing a building somewhere else. No! He is fully eliminated. All the buildings gone. Moon loses map 2. 2-0 for